Today is 392 is subsequence. Let's jump into it. Given two strings s and t, return true if s is a subsequence of t, or false otherwise. Subsequence is a new string that is formed by the original string. By deleting some, can be none, of the characters without disturbing the positions of the remaining characters. ACE is a subsequence of A, B, C, D, E, while AEC is not. So I am immediately thinking about a tree, is what comes to mind. Some kind of like dynamic programming maybe, but not super sure on that part. Let's think about it, right? So we have this first example here, BC, and we have another example, AHBGDC. So we're trying to get a subsequence of T, I believe, right? Because T is the longer one. Yeah, and S is the shorter one. So we're trying to subsequence that. And then this is false because there's no X. Actually, is this? No. I feel like, so I was thinking dynamic program because I was thinking something of like, okay, we have like a branch where it's like you take a letter or you don't take a letter kind of thing, right? So like, however, now that I'm not even going to draw that out because now I'm thinking about it. I think that, let's look at this example that they gave us, right? We have AHBGDC, and then we have ABC. So if I just have a pointer which points to both, I can just say, hey, do these equal each other? Yes, they do. So let's move both pointers, right? Now, does B and H equal each other? No. Move X, right? Because X, or I'm sorry, not X. Yeah, X, but like this is S and this is T, right? So now you move X because S is always the larger, is what we're trying to get the subsequence from, right? S is a subsequence of T. Actually, shouldn't it say T is a subsequence of S? I don't know if this is a typo or if I'm understanding that wrong. Because T is the sub of S from these examples that were given. Okay, anyways, I don't think it's super important. So we know that they're not equal, so we move X, right? Now, are they equal? Yes. So we move both, right? And then same thing. G, no, we move X. D, no, we move X. C, poo. Bada bing. All right. So time and space. I like this solution. Let's talk about time and space. So this is like a common pattern. You should learn two-pointer pattern. So we have time, we have space, right? So time is going to be what? Well, we're just moving 2 pointers. So at most, it's going to be S plus T, right? The length of S and then the length of T added together. That will be the most times that this loop is going to run, right? Literally, so this has 6 letters, this has 3, so this loop should only run 9 times, right? Space. We're not saving anything. I'm not doing this recursively. So I don't think we're going to be using any space either. We just have these 2 pointers, which are constant. So that would be O of 1. Yeah, let's just code it. I think pretty much covered it, right? So while we have, so I said we're gonna have 2 pointers. So let's just use X and let's use Y, because that's what I have in the drawing. We have X and Y, and we're just gonna say while. So what should our while be? Why am I using while? Because I want to keep on doing something and I don't really know when to stop, right? So I don't want to use a for loop. While loop makes more sense. So I'm going to say while let's look at this example real quick. So this is wrong, right? And in this example, X stays here and Y goes all the way to its end, right? We traverse the entire T word looking for X and we never find it. So we could say while Y is less than the length of T, right? That makes sense to me. I wonder if we can also, you know what? I'm gonna leave this for now. Let's just quickly draw that one actually. AXC. We have A, H, B, G, D, C. So yeah, we have X here. We have Y here. So we increment both, right? Then, nope, we don't have any. Oh, did this wrong. It should be this way. This is X and this is Y. Cool, so now, yeah, we don't have, so we move Y. No, no, no. So Y is out of bounds and now this loop can stop. If the loop stops and Y is out of bounds, then we know that what? This is not a subsequence. So I think I would just return false here. But let's think about that. In this case, both X and Y are going to be out of bounds, right? So maybe we should just be checking whether or not X or no, I'm sorry, not X. Oh, I'm confusing myself because I label these wrong. Ha! S is ABC. And this one is that. Okay, so let's just go backwards here. Oops. This is S and this is T. This makes more sense now. So if I have X here, yeah, so just be super careful with your examples and when you're walking through them. Don't make the mistakes that I'm making. So we want to get to the end of Y, basically, right? So we're checking whether or not Y is the length of T or S. Ah, gosh. Y should be equal to the length of S by the end of the loop. And you are basically checking whether or not that occurs, right? So back to our case here, while Y is less than the length of T, right, because we're always going to be exploring. And if we ever reach the end, then we know this should be X, I'm sorry. While X is, yeah, because I changed the variables, we're returning Y equals the length of S. Okay. Cool. So let's just also thinking like maybe I should name these better instead of X and Y. We can do something like S index, right? T index, maybe that makes more sense here. So while T index, yeah, S index. That makes sense. Okay, so let's think about the cases that we said. We said that if, so S of S index is going to be the current S. I'm just going to make a variable. And then we'll have current T equaling T of T index. So if current S equals current T, we increment both, right? Plus equals 1, and then T index plus equals 1. Otherwise, let's say they don't equal. We said that all we're going to be doing is incrementing T, right? T index is going to increment. It just be else, right? If they don't equal, you are only incrementing T, because we only increment this if they equal, right? We will never be incrementing the Y variable unless there's a match, right? So, okay. All right, this looks good to me. Let's just give this a run. Cool, looks good. Submit. String index is out of range. Ooh. String index is out of range. How is that possible? Okay, that's why. Because when we get to the last one here, we also need to consider the S index, right? So S index has to be less than the length of S as well. Otherwise, we get this error. Yeah, didn't think about that case. Cool. That looks good. See you on the next one.